The guns have not quite fallen silent around Mosul. On the banks of the Tigris in this battered city, Iraqi special forces put in some final training for their next mission.
This is the preliminary build-up to tonight's action, which is essentially going after what they say are ISIS operatives over that wall across the Tigris and in West Mosul.
ISIS, they tell us, are trying to return to Iraq's second city. It's the job of these men to arrest or capture them, dead or alive. This is the Falcon unit. Motto, one shot, one kill. The unit commander says they've arrested around 70 ISIS fighters in and around Mosul in the past year.
طبعا داعش بعد تحرير مدينة الموصل وحتى أثناء التحرير غير من استراتيجيته في عمله في محافظة نينوى، بحيث من الاستراتيجية العسكرية بمسك الأرض إلى إنشاء مفارز أمنية داخل هاي المدينة أو أطراف هذه المدينة، بحيث حاول أنه ينشئ أكثر من مفرزة يستهدف بها المخاتير أو العناصر المتعاونة مع القوات الأمنية أو منازل عناصر القوات الأمنية الموجودة في داخل مدينة الموصل.
Earlier we were taken to meet 6 prisoners, all under heavily armed guard. 3 of them, we were told, were former ISIS commanders in Mosul. We've protected their identity because they've yet to face trial. If guilty, they'll likely be hanged in a civilian prison in central Iraq.
Isn't it true that ISIS is actually nothing to do with religion at all? It's about fear, it's about terror.
بالنسبة للدولة الإسلامية كمبدأ الدولة الإسلامية منهاج الدولة الإسلامية هو صحيح 100%، لكن تطبيق الأفراد كان خطأ 100%. لكن الأفراد اللي طبقوا بالتنظيم كان أكثر الأفراد ما كان هدفهم هو الإسلام. قسم طب هو غايته المال أو الشهرة أو الثأر أو أي شيء هو دافع له، فما كان التطبيق صحيح، ولذلك فشل التنظيم في الموصل.
The world is told that ISIS are finished in Mosul. In fact, you are in charge of rebuilding ISIS, Daesh, in Mosul.
نعم. عشان خارج الموصل انطونا فكرة انه نعيد التنظيم ونعيد الدولة من جديد عن طريق الدعم يعني من خارج. يدعمونا بسلاح، يدعمونا بفلوس، يدعمونا بكل شيء، انه نكون خلايا نشتغل عمل امني داخل الموصل او تخربط الوضع.
الهجوم على مدينة الموصل خرجت إلى سوريا. بعدها فتح مكتب بسوريا للدخول على ولاية نينوى لإعادة التنظيم، وسجلت في المكتب ودخلنا إلى الموصل لنعمل يعني خلايا نائمة.
راح يكون دخولنا من هذا الطريق، واضح؟ العجلة الأولى.
No faces, no identities, as the commander sets out the final brief for tonight's arrest operation. Acting on intelligence, tip-offs mostly. They believe ISIS are trying to set up around 25 cells here to continue a war many thought was over.
So that's the final briefing from the Major. All we know is it's one property in the west of Mosul. This is the area where ISIS made their final stand and where these men believe there are new IS, Islamic State cells being re-established.
If you're intending to arrest people for whom fighting to the death is the fast track to heaven, you'd best go heavily armed. On the road and crossing the city in the dead of night, they're acting on a tip-off. They are very aware this all needs careful handling.
I think we're getting quite close now. Turning off the main road into the residential area.
Go in too heavy-handed and they've damaged their most prized asset, civilian support and intelligence. And this is the house. Despite all their hardware, the actual entry is relatively gentle.
Well, it looks like there's nobody home.
The man they're after just isn't here. What was a pinpoint arrest operation on hard intelligence becomes a door-to-door search based on hope. They know they cannot function effectively without civilian support. They also know there are only so many doors you can open, only so many families you can wake up before it all becomes an own goal.
داهمنا موقع الهدف لكنه متحرك، لكن راح نبقى نستمر نتابعه لحد ما نلقى مكانه الثاني اللي تواجد به حتى نلقى القبض عليه. مستمرين بمتابعته الحين نلقى القبض عليه.
عدل الفرع واقف، عدل عجلتك، عدل عجلتك.
So what's the plan now?
راح نستمر بمتابعته، عندنا معلومات كافية عنه. هو يعتبر هذا الهدف أحد الأهداف.
They fan out, searching on into the night across waste ground. For these men, the fight against ISIS, the fight against ISIS returning to Mosul, is still very much unfinished.